Hello everyone, my name is Danny. This review is for the movie called The Void. This is a 2016 film. It is a little older, but I've never seen it before, so that's why it's on my list. This does not have a rating, and it stars Aaron Poole, Kathleen Monroe, and Kenneth Welsh. The description: cloaked, cult-like figures trap a police officer, patients, and staffers inside a hospital that is a gateway to evil. This is The Void. Well, thank you everybody for watching this video. This is my 603rd film review on YouTube. This is a little older movie. The reason why I watch this, why it's on my list, why I do a review, is because I do research at the beginning of every month off of movies I watched the last month to try and get new movies to watch that I've never seen before. And I've never heard of this, I've never seen it, and I was able to watch it, so I did. And it's a very unique movie in its own way, which is kind of hard to explain, but I'm going to try. I had to write down other movies that this is like because it just kept reminding me of this movie and that movie and this movie. And it's kind of weird when you're watching a movie like that. You know, like you would figure it's just like the worst piece of garbage you've ever seen, right? But every movie it was reminding me of is a movie that I've really liked. That's why it was triggering something. And so the first concept that we have to deal with in this movie is the fact that they're being trapped inside a hospital. And they're kind of having to have their own inner problems plus whatever's going on outside. And that reminded me of Legion. I had to come up with the name of it. I had to look it up a little bit, but if you don't remember Legion, it's them finding out of this diner in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of a supernatural thing, and that's really awesome. So I remember that movie. I like that movie, and the fact that this has a concept sort of that is good. It's a good thing. And then just their sense of dreams and nightmares that are in this movie. You don't really know what's real. You know some things are happening, and then people snap back into reality. That kind of stuff just reminded me of Oculus, and I loved Oculus. I watched that many times afterward. I owned it for a little while, but I don't at the moment. So that's always a nice concept to have in your movie, and just to have people question reality and not know what's going on, if it's real or not. So that's a nice touch. And not to give anything away, but they do have some creatures in this movie, and they just look like they walk straight out of Resident Evil, and I own all the Resident Evils. So I love those movies. I'll watch them over and over again till the day I die. And this movie was like literally impressive on their creatures. That's why I give them props for looking like Resident Evil, because nobody can do as well as Resident Evil will do ever. But for them to be compared to that, I think is a good thing. So yeah, that's kind of what we have going on for us here is comparisons, because they have all those different concepts of their movie. It's a very complete movie. Has a lot of great acting, has a lot of great sequences, has a lot of great twists and turns. Once we're actually at the hospital, which does take a little while to set up, maybe 15-20 minutes, what happens in those first 15-20 minutes is like, oh, okay, we're doing this and doing that, and who are these people, and what's going on, and it really hooks you at the beginning. And so that's always great, for any movie, whether it be 4 years old, 40 years old. If you have a hooker at the beginning to garner people's attention, I don't know why I said that word, but that's what I was trying to say. And then it's great to get people's attention at the beginning of the movie. So then we get to the hospital, then all this madness is happening, and you're kind of just on the ride for the next half hour after that, because You have no idea who anybody is. You have no idea what's going on, why they're there sometimes, and you know some of the twists and turns that go along here. You're wondering if they're going to get back to, and they do. You're going to wonder if it matters, and it does. And so, one concept that they kind of overload and kind of punch into submission is a little uncomfortable, but is kind of their main concept for being driven to drive this one person or these two people crazy. So it kind of has to be in there, but I thought it was a little overbearing. And so then, like the side characters and everything that happens there is fine. One thing happened, like the big first thing that happens in the hospital, as far as, we'll just say it, somebody dying, I felt like was a little underwhelming at that time because it just happens. Like, we have this cop that's there. He walks in his room and, oh, the guy's dead. Just like, really? But otherwise, everything else is handled pretty well throughout the movie as far as, any kind of gore. So I think this kind of movie is impressive. You don't get this idea very often, and you don't get this well of acting, which is, I was pretty blown away by everybody in this movie, that how great they were, how great they participated. There's a huge twist at the end. That character was really playing her part well. I mean, the whole thing with the guardians outside the hospital, that got to be a little stale by the end because they're just end up being, I don't know, kind of useless, I guess is the word, but I don't want to give away the ending. So the ending is just mind blowing. So I think they'll be open for interpretation, but I think it was mind blowing. So, my big thing is that I like movies like this. I really do. I wouldn't mind watching it again sometime if I think about it. If I, look at my list, I don't really remember it, a year from now, and I want to rewatch it. But I'll see that I gave it, the grade I did, and I'll be like, oh, maybe I should watch it again. But it's not as unique as I would like it to be because it does remind me of other things, but it is unique. It's not as original. It's not as great action as I could have had, but it has good action. It has blood, but not as much as I would have preferred. It has good acting, but maybe some things here and there could have been better. So I just think I have to give it a B. I would love to give a movie like this an A for its originality, for its really a good attempt at making a great full movie. How tense it was, how interesting it was, how good the acting was. I can completely suggest for you to go try and find this movie if you are into this kind of concept at all. It's called The Void. Try and seek it out. There's a couple probably different platforms that you can find it on. But yeah, it's really worth it. I know it's a 2016 film, but I really like it, and I'm definitely going to give a B to The Void. So, thank you guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. Enjoy your movies. Thanks.